Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our study of ancient India. Today we're going to be taking a look at the achievements of ancient India. We're going to start looking at Indian literature and science first, and go through and take a look at some more achievements as we go through today. All right, we're on page 214. We'll be reading all the way to page 216. So if you want to continue following along, keep playing the video. If not, you want to read on your own, you're more than welcome to. All right, let's get started. Artists, builders, scientists, and writers produced many works while the Mauryan and Gupta kings ruled. India's most famous poems. The Vedas of India are ancient hymns and prayers for religious ceremonies. No one is certain how old they are because for a long time they were only recited, not written down. Once Aryan people came to India and developed Sanskrit, the Vedas could be recorded. Later, other kinds of literature were also written down. Two epics are very famous in India. The Indians today still love to read them. The first is the Mahabharata, and the second is the Ramayana. Both of these long poems tell about brave warriors and their heroic deeds. The Mahabharata is the longest poem in any written language, about 88,000 verses. Historians think several different authors wrote it, and that it was written down around 100 BC. It describes a great war for control of an Indian kingdom about 1,000 years earlier. The best known section is the Bhagavad Gita, or Song of the Lord. It is very important in Hindu writings. In it, the god Krishna preaches a sermon before a battle. He tells his listeners how noble it is to do one's duty even when it is difficult and painful. And below here we have a short section of the Bhagavad Gita in which Arjuna prepares to go into battle, and he asks the god Krishna questions about war and death, and that passage there is part of Krishna's answer. Thou grievest where no grief should be. All that doth live lives anyway, always. The soul that with a strong and constant calm takes sorrow and takes joy indifferently lives in the undying. Continue on to page 215. The Ramayana is another long poem. It was written at about the same time as the Mahabharata. It tells of the great king Rama and his queen Sita. Rama's enemies have him banished from the kingdom. He is forced to live as a hermit in the forest. Later he fights and defeats the demon Ravana, who has kidnapped Sita. As in many Indian epics, they live happily ever after. Like the Mahabharata, the Ramayana contains many religious and moral lessons. Rama is the perfect hero, king and son. Sita is the perfect, faithful wife. However, people enjoy the epics for other reasons as well. Like adventure movies of today, these poems told thrilling stories about great heroes. Other writings from ancient India have also survived. These are quite different from the Mahabharata and Ramayana. One of India's best-known authors was Kalidasa. He lived during the Gupta dynasty. Kalidasa wrote plays, poems, love stories, and comedies. His poem, The Cloud Messenger, is one of the most popular Sanskrit poems. It is a love story that also contains beautiful descriptions of the mountains, forests, and rivers of northern India. A completely different work is the Panchatantra. It is similar to Aesop's fables. In these tales, talking animal characters present lessons about life. Most Indian literature stresses the importance of dharma. Each person, regardless of social status, must do his or her duty. Indian math and science. Indian mathematicians, especially in the Gupta period, made important contributions. Aryabhata was the leading mathematician of the Gupta Empire. He was one of the first scientists known to have used algebra. Indian mathematicians developed the idea of zero and a symbol to represent it. They also explained the concept of infinity, something without an end. Gupta mathematicians created the symbols for the numbers 1 to 9 that we use today. These number symbols, or numerals, were adopted by Arab traders in the 700s and the AD 700s. European traders borrowed them from the Arabs. Use of these numbers spread through Europe in the AD 1200s. replacing Roman numerals. Today, this system of number symbols is known as the Hindu-Arabic numerical system. Early Indians also invented mathematical algorithms. An algorithm is a series of steps that solve a problem. If you follow the steps, you get the right answer. Computer programmers today often use algorithms to tell computers what to do. Ancient Indians made important contributions in other scientific fields, especially astronomy. They followed and mapped movements of the planets and stars. They understood that the Earth was round and revolved around the sun. They also seem to have understood gravity. Indians developed ideas about what the universe was made of. As early as the 500s BC, Indian thinkers believed that the universe was made up of many very tiny particles. They came up with the ideas of atoms before the Greeks in the West did. In the field of medicine, Gupta doctors were advanced for their time. They could set broken bones and perform operations. They also invented many medical tools. An Indian doctor named Shashruta carried out an early form of plastic surgery. He worked to restore damaged noses. Indian doctors used herbs in treating illnesses. They also believed it was important to remove the causes of a disease and not just cure the disease itself. Now, you can come back here, and this right here tells you the story of the invention of the zero, the number zero and its symbol. I'll let you guys read that on your own time. Leave it paused there if you want to read that information. Please make sure you are completing all of your work. And if you have any questions, do not forget to ask.